So you're looking at a Duda review, and the first thing worth knowing is what Duda actually is. It's a website builder, but it isn't really built for one person making one site. Duda's own homepage says it out loud. The AI-ready website platform built for pros, empowering agencies and SaaS platforms to build sites at scale. That one sentence explains almost everything about this product, including the complaints. Here's the number that made this worth a whole video. On Trustpilot, Duda sits at 4 out of 5 stars from 194 reviews. Ordinary enough. But look at how those reviews split. 76% gave it 5 stars, 14% gave it 1 star. Almost nobody landed in the middle. That isn't a mediocre product. That's a product that's either exactly right for you or completely wrong for you. By the end of this, you'll know which one you are. Let me be straight about how I put this together. I don't have a Duda account and I've never built a client site on it, so I did the next best thing. I pulled up their real pricing page, read through the 1-star reviews, and went looking for what agencies who have paid for this for years actually say. 3 things then: what it does, what it costs, and what real users report. The cost part has a wrinkle almost nobody mentions. Start with what you get. Duda is a drag-and-drop builder, so you're placing things on a page, not writing code. Their homepage offers 4 ways in. Pick a template, build with AI, collect the client's content first, or start from a file you already have. That third one is the tell. Collecting content from a client before you build isn't something you need when you're making your own site. That's an agency problem, and Duda solved it on purpose. The same pattern runs through the whole product. There's a shared workspace where a designer and a copywriter can work in the same project at once. There's white labeling, which means you strip Duda's name off everything and hand a client a builder that looks like yours. There's client billing, so you can charge them through the platform. And there's one feature that genuinely has no equivalent on most consumer builders. You can connect a Google Sheet or an Airtable base and generate pages from the rows. One layout, 200 locations, 200 pages. If you've ever built a directory or a franchise site by hand, you already know what that saves. Here's why that matters for the price conversation coming up. You aren't paying for a page editor. You're paying for the machinery around it. So let's talk money. These are the numbers off their own pricing page at the time of recording. There are 4 public plans plus a custom one. Basic is $19 a month billed annually, or $25 if you pay month to month. Team is $29, agency is $52, white label is $149. Above that, you're talking to sales. Now read the row underneath, because this is where people get caught. Basic and team each include 1 published site. 1. Agency and white label include 4. Every extra site after that is another $17 to $19 a month. So an agency running 20 client sites isn't paying $52. They're paying $52 plus 16 more sites on top. The seats matter too. Basic has no collaborative workspace at all. None. On the cheapest plan, you're working alone. Team gets you 3 seats, agency gets 6. Support is tiered the same way. Basic and team are email only. Chat and screen share start higher up, and priority support starts at agency. It's printed right there on the page, but it's easy to skim past while you're comparing headline prices. There's also no free plan. You get 14 days free with no credit card and a 30-day money-back guarantee if you do buy. That's the whole safety net. Set that against Wix or Squarespace, where a single site costs you somewhere in the teens and nobody charges you per seat. On a straight one-site comparison, Duda loses on price. That's the trade. Now the wrinkle. If you want to sell anything, the store is a separate add-on and it's charged per site. Standard is $7 a month annually and covers up to 100 products. Advanced is $20 and takes you to 1,000 with automated tax and shipping. Elite is $45 and goes all the way to 20,000 products. Stack that on a plan and the real number moves. Agency plus an advanced store is $72 a month, not $52. Do that addition before you commit. But here's the part that goes the other way. Somebody asked this exact question under another Duda review 4 months ago and never got an answer. How much does Duda take from each sale? Nothing. 0% transaction fee on every store tier. That's their own wording on their own pricing page. That's worth real money. Plenty of platforms clip a percentage off every order on their cheaper plans. If you're doing $5,000 a month in sales, a 2% cut is $100 gone every single month. Duda takes none of it. Your payment processor still takes theirs, but Duda doesn't add one on top. So what do the people actually using this say? The positive reviews are strikingly consistent, and they aren't vague. On G2, Duda holds 4.6 out of 5 from around 785 reviews. Worth knowing that software review sites in this category often incentivize reviews, so read the score the way you'd read any invited feedback. The specifics underneath it are still useful. What users praise most is the workflow. Design people and content people in one project, not waiting on each other. Agencies describe handing a finished site to a client without the usual mess of exports and logins. Second is performance, and this one is a pleasant surprise, because builder platforms have a poor reputation for slow, bloated pages. A developer on Reddit last year said his Duda client sites score better on Google PageSpeed than some of his WordPress sites. Duda themselves claim the top spot for Core Web Vitals. If you care about ranking, that is not a small thing. Third is the boring one that people running a lot of sites care about most. SSL and security updates handled for you. A reviewer put it nicely at the start of this month. One less thing to track. And it is genuinely the strongest white label product in this category. One review this spring called it fully rebrandable, better than any other website builder out there. If your business is selling websites under your own name, that alone can decide it. Now the 14%. These complaints are real, specific, and recent. The loudest one isn't about the builder at all. It's about support. And it doesn't come from people who tried it for a week. There's a Trustpilot review from an agency that has been with Duda for 15 years. They say the platform has kept improving while the customer service has become abysmal. 3 weeks waiting for a reply on a paid agency subscription. That theme comes up in the 1-star reviews more than any other. Put that next to the tiering and the shape of it is clear. A tech review published this month said it plainly. The more you pay, the better your support experience. If you're on basic with an email address and a problem, you are at the back of the queue. Second, the learning curve. Users describe it as steep at the start and fine once you're through it. That's fair, but think about what it means when your trial runs 14 days. You could spend most of your evaluation window being bad at it. Third, and this is a real limitation rather than a preference, the templates don't look as good as Squarespace's. A reviewer on Capterra put it exactly right. Duda is far superior for SEO and flexibility of function, but it doesn't meet the design standard Squarespace has set. If the visual is the product you're selling, weigh that. Fourth, one for the developers. You can edit HTML and CSS, but not inside the Flex editor. So the escape hatch is missing in the very tool that gives you the most layout freedom. And some developers simply don't get on with it. One agency developer on Reddit was blunt about it. He can't build the sites he builds in Duda. Then the price complaint. A Reddit user back in 2024 said avoid it, called it too expensive, and moved to Wix. Fair enough for his situation. Worth adding that his other complaint, that it was slow, is contested. Another developer replied that anyone calling Duda slow hasn't used the current editor. So who is this genuinely for? Duda is a strong buy if you build websites for other people. Agencies, freelancers with a client list, marketing teams running a portfolio of sites. Anyone who has to hand over a finished product with their own name on the front. At that scale, the per site cost stops reading as expensive and starts reading as a tool cost. Everything Duda spends its engineering on, the seats, The white label, the client billing, the pages generated from a spreadsheet is aimed squarely at you. Those are the 76%, and they aren't being polite. They stay for years. It's also a good fit if search performance is the point. If you build for local businesses that live or die on Google, the clean code and Core Web Vitals story is real, and it's a better technical foundation than most drag-and-drop competitors hand you. Who should skip it? If you need one website for yourself and nobody else is ever touching it, this is the wrong tool. Not because it's bad, but because you'd be renting a workshop when what you needed was a hammer. Wix or Squarespace will cost you less and look better straight out of the box. Skip it too if you'll be on the cheapest plan and you already know you'll need hand-holding. Email-only support plus a hard first week is a rough combination. Here's the short version. Duda is a professional platform that keeps getting judged by people who aren't professionals, and that gap is the entire reason its reviews look so split. I've put links to everything in the description. Some of them are affiliate links, so I get a small commission if you use them at no extra cost to you. One question before you go. How many websites are you actually planning to build this year? 1 or a dozen? Tell me in the comments, because that number settles this more than any feature on the list.